Hello everyone, welcome one and all. Don't get lost in the lights, don't get lost in the ceiling and the flashing lights by Kanye West. This is the real deal Holyfield. We are in Nolens in the Louisiana Superdome. I wonder if they call that because they couldn't get the Mercedes-Benz thing. Or is this before Mercedes-Benz? Is it actually the Louisiana Superdome? I know it's the Caesar Superdome now. I don't know the naming history. I try my best. Okay, I'm working off of prior knowledge here. But your number one ranked Northwestern Wildcats are here in the Sugar Bowl to play the number two ranked Air Force Falcons in their third straight BCS title game appearance, looking for their second straight win. This is our first appearance in the BCS, and we're looking to take home our first. We got our second Big Ten title, and we are now primed and ready because of this freaking guy right here, Meyer. Very good season for him. We finally cracked the 4,000 passing yard mark, almost get 4,200 passing yards because he is just that guy with his ginger mustache. You got to fear the stash. You're definitely going to be seeing this guy a lot today. So we are primed and ready. I'm anxious to win that first one. We got to have that trophy sitting in the trophy case. I want that crystal football in my freaking trophy case. We got everything else, and we don't have one of those. So 1st and 10 now for Air Force's offense, and we get Lloyd in the backfield, and we were going to hurt him quite a bit here. He's holding that arm. Something might be wrong there. Might have exploded every tendon in his wrist. I don't know. It could just be a bruise or something. Who knows? But on 2nd and very long now, the backup's going to come in. He's got a clean pocket, steps up in it, and finds a Northwestern Wildcat deep in the secondary who's got some space here and is able to bring it back into Air Force territory, and that's going to set our offense up in prime positioning to hopefully turn this turnover into some points as we go with the ground game and pick up about a handful of yards, maybe, if so, if that. Who's to really say? So on 2nd and 6 now, we're going to set up again with a single back here, send our tight end in motion, give us some coverage on that side here, and Meyer's going to drop back. He's got a clean pocket. It's a screen pass, and it's not really going to go for a whole lot as Air Force had that one fairly covered fairly well, So Air Force is going to have to tighten up here on D if they want to stop and minimize their mistake early in this game. So it's 3rd and 5 on shotgun formation. Meyer just stands in the pocket and makes a horrendous throw at the line to gain, and that's going to go absolutely nowhere. So Anthony Lloyd there, we see strained his pec, and he will be okay. So on 4th and 5, we're going to keep the offense out, but we're aggressive. I love the coaching decision, and Meyer's going to drop back. He's got tons of time to throw, wants everything on it, and he gets everything as our receiver hauls that one in for the first points of the game. We turn this turnover into points. That is a humongous thing we're going to need to do if Air Force is going to give us some gifts like that, some free gifts. We're going to have to take them. And what a spectacular grab, dude. Oh my gosh, you're going to see that on SportsCenter top 10, I guarantee it. So we cut back to Lloyd here on 3rd down, and he's going to give us another gift as a fantastic juke move. Jukes right into an offensive lineman. He gets leveled, but Lloyd already not having a great game. He's already missed some time because of an injury and thrown a pick. So now 2 Air Force QBs have picks, and we have another opportunity to get some points, but Meyer's going to give a gift himself to the Air Force defense. So 3 interceptions already in the first quarter alone, and halfway through the first quarter. This is disgusting football. I hate it. Another 3rd down for Air Force, and Lloyd is going to flout this one up, and it's going to get bobbled, thrown around. There's nothing but Wildcats, and finally one comes down with it, and it's another interception. What is happening? What are we doing? Who ordered this? Is this NCAA 04 finally breaking? We were able to drive the ball within the 5-yard line, and we hand this one off to our running back, Roundtree, who was able to bust up the middle and get a touchdown, the second touchdown of the game. Not before we exchange some interceptions back and forth. Don't even look at it. Don't even pay attention to it, because we have a 14-0 lead in the national title game after 1 quarter of play. So, will Air Force get their shiznit together? I don't know. Lloyd drops back again, steps up in the pocket, and lays an absolute dime to the defense, and now it's heading the other way yet again. At this point, we got to start tracking who's got multiple, and that is Richard's second of the day. So it's a 3rd down situation, and Meyer's under quite a bit of pressure, but he's able to get this one off to Roundtree, who tries to cut upfield, and there's not a lot of space to operate. So that should bring out our kicking unit. I believe that was 3rd down. and we should be able to convert that into some points, which we do. So I'm showing you a punt play, so, oh God, so please, hopefully it's nothing too bad. What's it going to be? I already know, but what do you guys think it is? It is a muffed punt, and Air Force cannot get out of their own way as they just continue to stack up the turnovers. This is probably Air Force's worst game in this entire sim. I don't know, that game we played against Air Force in the first season was pretty freaking bad too, as Meyer takes too long to make a decision and meets an Air Force edge rusher head on for a sack. So on 2nd and 15, Meyer again is going to eat some pressure, and he's going to get brought down again. So the turnover number sits at 6. Just pay attention to that. As it's 3rd and 21, we are moving the wrong direction, and Meyer finally finds a receiver, an open receiver, who makes the catch and is brought down inside the 10-yard line, and it is going to be 1st and goal with a minute and some change left to work. So 2nd and goal now, we get it inside the 5. Can we punch it in for some more points? And a reversal here, a nice little trick play to throw Air Force off their toes. They thought we were going wide out to the right side, and we handed inside to one of our receivers for our 3rd touchdown of the game, make it 24-0 for Northwestern as we get to Lloyd again, and it's a fumble. Everyone wants a piece of it, and it's Potts who picks it up, and he takes it into the end zone. He's got a pick, and now he's got to scoop and score, and he's going to extend the score to 30-0. Look how gross this is. We get to Lloyd, just absolutely level him, and everyone's going to get a piece of the football. Mine, and Potts is going to find it, and he's just going to be, I mean, he was really just right place, right time. That's just how that works. That's how his interception was, too. So we skip far ahead here to the very end of the game. Lloyd is desperately looking for something to do, and he finds another defender. Making it 8 turnovers for Air Force. And if you didn't notice, the score was 34-7. It doesn't really matter anyway. It's just nuts that there were 9 total turnovers in this freaking ball game. Gotta be the worst national title game of all time. I mean, just already, who cares about a Northwestern Air Force national title game and the fact that there's 9 turnovers? That has to be a BCS record, right? I mean, it has to be. The BCS wasn't that old at this point. We've seen most of its history throughout the sim, so yeah, that had to be the most turnovers. That was just a disgusting game, but there you see, we finally pick up our national title trophy, and we also pick up a Sugar Bowl trophy, because we also get one of them for just going to the dance and winning the game. So we pick up like 5 or 6 trophies overall throughout this in one single season. We get a defensive lineman of the year, quarterback of the year, receiver of the year, Big Ten trophy, Sugar Bowl, and of course the AFCA National Championship, which gives us 6 or 7, I think, on the year. So an absolutely incredible year. We will never forget it. We graced the cover of Sports Illustrated because we deserve to, and we're even on some of the pages here. We're on a few of the pages. Well, actually, I think that's for Air Force's Heisman winner, but we are on it. We're there. We're featured, so I guess we'll claim some credit for that. So let's take a brief look at our All-Americans. Kyle Meyer, of course, graces the top here. Look how gross that is. This is actually his senior year, or his junior year. He was redshirted. So this is his junior year. So he saw the field a little bit in 2013, but this is his first year as a starter. He sat on the bench for a little bit and finally made use of his opportunities. He wins quarterback of the year. Jameer Williams also gets some All-American honors as he picks up best receiver for his clearly just best season. 1,300 yards, a humongous upgrade from where it was last year. Raymond Bass, I think this is his second All-American bid, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was here last year as well, so he gets on here again. Not as productive as far as yardage goes, but he does have 10 touchdowns again, so we love seeing that. We have 3 All-Americans, make that 4 now, as Brady Woodruff, our best DL trophy winner, gets himself on here for 19 sacks. Dude, that's insane. He hit the quarterback 19 frickin' times. Jeez, man. Obviously, I see why that's the best. No one's probably even touching that number. I didn't see who the other DLs on the All-American side were, but probably weren't even coming close to 19 sacks, I'll tell you that much. So we have 4 first-team All-Americans, so I don't really care if we have any second-team All-Americans. But hey, Napoleon Dyer gets up here. He had a terrible first season, freshman year, but his sophomore year was significantly better. So we love to see the improvement. Normally the kickers don't really improve. They just kind of stay bad and mid and awful. But he had a great season this year, so I guess we'll take it. And then I don't think we have many freshmen starting for us at this point. I think it's all upperclassmen, so I doubt we'll see any of our guys on here. But we flip through it anyway, and oh, wait a minute, hold on. We have Major Sterling, a freshman middle linebacker, records 82 freaking tackles to get freshman All-American honors. I think it's well deserved. So A lot of guys putting up some crazy stats this year. You absolutely love to see it. I know I love to see it. So now let's look in our stat book and just see exactly what everyone was cooking this year. So we actually had another quarterback get quite a bit of playing time. So can you imagine? Kyle Meyer, 4,300 yards throughout the course of the season, and he didn't even play the entire season. I mean, that is just, what are we talking about here? Derek Roundtree gets 1,000 yards rushing with 7 touchdowns. Has 2 less touchdowns, but just almost about 100 yards more rushing, so about the same season here. And then Robin Nixon, our sophomore running back, our backup running back, records 500 yards, so very productive rushing attack for us this year. Not something we normally have. Last year we had 3 900-plus yard receivers. This year we have 1,000-plus yard receiver, 1,300-plus yard receiver, and then it's a fall off to 831. But it doesn't matter because it was more than enough production that we needed. Isaac Banks improves his pancake numbers and limits the amount of sacks here, but it is increased just a little bit. Chester Chambers just absolutely just overnight just transforms into a much better lineman. So does Alan McKnight. We were really just getting solid improvement from our offensive line, which has kind of been a little bit of a weak point throughout this whole thing. Not like weak, like bad, like we've had great guys on there, but that's where the holes have been if there have been any. So looking at our defense now, our top stats here, of course, Major Sterling, our freshman middle linebacker, leads the team in tackles. As far as TFLs go, Brady Woodruff leads the team in TFLs with 22. So not only did he hit the quarterback, sack the quarterback 19 times, he also made 22 TFLs. That dude was just, no one could contain him. No offensive line could contain him at all. And the next closest sack total is 7. So that is just beautiful. I'd love to see it. Matt Hall records the most INTs for the squad, and that's his most INTs as a Wildcat. So in his senior year, he leads the team in INTs with 5. And then we go to pass deflections, and again, it's Matt Hall's number we're calling as he leads the team with 12. So good season for him, good senior year for him. And Deion Potts, who had the interception and the scoop and score, leads the team in forced fumbles with 7. So that one fumble recovery that he has on the year was from the national title game. So that's kind of funny to think about that. So. And then, of course, our kicker, Napoleon Dyer, had a good year. No one else was touching the ball as far as that's concerned. With kicking, they didn't really have to because he was locking it down. 100% on extra points. You love to see it. So looking over kick returning here just to see if anything happened. Nothing really here. We have 2 kick returns. Or 2 punt returns. Look at there, 699. He needed 1 more yard for 700 punt return yards. That would have been funny. Would have been cool to see. But now we're going to go to our stat rankings and see where we ranked. Of course, we were the best offense in the Big Ten. You thought anything else? We dropped to 8th in rushing, and remember, there's only 11 teams in the Big Ten, so it's kind of bad. I mean, yards per game. We had a 1,000-yard rusher, and still we come in 71st in the country. That's kind of wild. That's where we were. We allowed a ton of sacks, though. Jeez Louise, man. Meyer was getting hit all the time and still did what he did. We had the best defense in the conferences, if you really had to guess, if you really had to second guess it. All of our games were like 50-6. So, I mean, we had some higher scoring games here. I think this is the same year in which we beat Ohio State and Michigan by the same margin of victory, 50-27, which is just funny to me. I just find that hilarious. But looking over the efficiency here, these stats are kind of weird just because the sim is broken and it doesn't work how it's supposed to. But you can look at those stats and take them for what you will. I think I've said that probably 78 times throughout the entire series of this. But that's just how I feel. So looking over the rest of the bowl games, here's all the small little peon bowl games that no one cares about. But they happen anyway because the families care. Families, girlfriends, friends, they all care. But we certainly do not. So Wisconsin takes care of Kansas State. Looking for our conference here, see for them to pop up. That's what I really care about, and there we are. Michigan loses to USC, which is unfortunate, I guess. Michigan wasn't that good this year, but still, you'd like for them to win if they get somewhere. Purdue also loses their bowl game to Alabama. Ohio State manages to beat Florida, which is nice to see. And then here's some other big bowl games, and we're going to look over now the top 25 rankings. We are, of course, first. Notre Dame is second. Ohio State comes in at third. Air Force drops down to 6. A lot of familiar faces up here. New Mexico State sneaking in the top 10. Wisconsin rounds out the top 10. Colorado State, TCU back up here. Arkansas, Miami of Ohio at 15. Hey, good for you guys. good for the little guys. West Virginia in here. Alabama comes into 19, and then we have Auburn right behind them at 20. Purdue slips in at 22. Boise State sneaks in the rankings after being not ranked, and Ball State and Kentucky close things out. So here are the standings. Ohio State came in second here, and this year Wisconsin, they still had a pretty good year, but they weren't even close to the Big Ten title, as all three of their losses came to Big Ten opponents. So Michigan State and Illinois both put up 2-win seasons, and Illinois puts up a 1-win season, and Penn State puts up a 2-win season. So we had 4 teams with less than 3 wins in the Big Ten, man. This is the year for us to win it. Or the year for us to win it again, because we already have one title, but this is the year for us to do it, because geez, man, that is awful, man. There's a definitive ceiling, or floor, with competition. So we're going to move ahead now into our next season now. Now that we're Natty winners, there's not much pressure, but we're going to apply the gas. So we need you guys there in the next episode.